sports, even if you don't remember them, you know them because they've been bronze. Dwight Clark, the catch against the Cowboys. 1981 NFC Championship game that lives on outside Levi Stadium was unveiled. But last year, Michael Jordan, come on, that right there. That dunk from 1988 put in bronze outside the United Center. And finally, one of the most iconic plays in all of sports, Bobby Orr scoring that goal against the Blues in the 1970 Stanley Cup Final. Orr taking flight. That's outside TD Garden. So even if you weren't around in 70, you know about it because you've seen it. You've seen the statue. You've seen the bronze.
That statue is one of the more popular statues in a city, Boston, full of them, right? What makes it so unique, though, might be a testament to the player himself, because Orr was so great, the goal so iconic, that even if you're a fan of the other team, you're taking a picture of the Bobby Orr statue.
Am I, though?
Yes.
Am I, like the longtime Blues fan of 3 weeks now? Because to me, that photo is just going to represent, like, pain for my bandwagon. Here's Butchergrass.
A timeless goal and a split-second flight. A handful of photographers captured Bobby Orr flying through the air. But only Ray Lussier fully captured this moment with precise timing, perfect placement, and a bit of luck.
It's not like nowadays you look in the back of your camera. He didn't know he had it till he got in and developed the film. I would imagine he was excited and concerned. Till you've got that great picture in front of you, it's not there.
Let's take a step back here for a moment. It's Mother's Day, 1970, and the Bruins are up 3-0. Temperatures outside the Boston Garden were over 90 degrees, and the old arena had no air conditioning.
I just remember I was wiping my face in the heat, you know, just sweat and everything else. But it didn't matter. We might see a Stanley Cup winner.
At the end of regulation, the Blues and Bruins were tied 3-3. Lussier, a photographer for the Record American, was going to be stationed behind the Bruins goalie for overtime when he made a decision.
If the Blues scored in the overtime, it didn't mean anything as a fifth game. But Ray said, if the Bruins score, I've got to get that shot. So he made his way down there, and not everybody did that, which was kind of controversial amongst us.
Much to his surprise, the stool that was assigned to the competing photographer was open. So he just took a seat and he put his lens in the little cutout in the glass, and overtime began.
Bobby Orr, behind the net defender, to Orr! Bobby Orr! Scores for the Boston Bruins! The Bruins are Stanley Cup!
It took just 40 seconds into overtime for number 4 to soar. Lussier had a feeling he had something special in his camera. The competing photographer from the Boston Globe returned shortly after.
The photographer that was assigned that stool and that cutout went to get a beer at the intermission between regulation and overtime. When the photographer did come back, he looked at Dad and he said, you know, what are you doing in my stool? And my dad just looked at him and said, oh, it's okay, you can have it back. I got what I need.
After the game, I went into the office, and there was Ray, and I said, how'd you do? And he took me down the photo engraver, and he shows me this large copy of the picture that's going to be in the paper. And, you know, I said, wow, you know, it was just fantastic.
However, the photo did not run the following day. Instead, Bobby Orr drinking out of the cup donned the Record American front page. It wasn't until the following day the Lussier photo was unveiled in a 2-page spread.
Fabulous. Calls, how do I get copies? I want more papers. They couldn't have printed enough papers.
He was just overjoyed. I mean, he loved all the attention. He was at the top of his career, at the top of his satisfaction.
Ray Lussier passed away in 1991 at the age of 59. But his most famous photo lives on. Throughout Boston, the Flying Orr image can be found in many restaurants and bars. And in 2010, a bronze statue was built outside TD Garden.
It means Boston, it means hockey. That photo, it just by itself is just art. And the fact that it was Bobby Orr flying through the air like Superman, it just had this iconic glitter to it. You just had to have that photo.
And then you got to put it in bronze. When I leap, you leap, we leap. Remember 2000 Sydney Olympics, Vince Carter defying gravity?